not hyperbole. It's about being made in America. A lot of that has to do with this industry.
So our producer wanted to start with something really funny. It was totally on purpose. I don't know if you guys noticed, but hi everybody, welcome to Campfire Discussions. And what's the price of freedom? We're gonna find out today. And it's I'm pretty sure the price of our freedom is getting higher and higher and higher. But we're gonna talk about that. Anyways, that little clip you saw, you'll see more in a second. So even the birds don't like Mr. Biden. I mean, that was pretty funny. It was comedy gold when that happened. And some people are saying it's not what does it say? It's not bird poop, it's distiller's grains. But watch this video, it's really funny. And you tell me what it looks like.
It's not hyperbole. It's about being made in America. A lot of that has to do with this industry.
Oh. Whatever it is, it's great. Oh man. So yeah, tonight we're taking a little break. I know I harp on my passion project, I'm sure you guys have realized, is talking about the modern day slavery, which is our sex trafficking, human trafficking going on and how it's affecting our children. And I am not stepping away from that. Of course, I will continue to talk about that. But tonight we're having a little bit more lighthearted show. We're going to talk about some funny stuff. We're going to talk about Elon Musk. I'd love to know what you guys think of this man. Yeah, he's really eccentric. He's a Looney Tune in some ways. But who thought that we'd depend on Elon Musk to bring back free speech in social media platforms? I don't know if I saw that coming. Now, when he bought his shares, I saw something happening. I was pretty sure, okay, he's got a plan. He knows what he's doing. Let's see where this goes. And he did not disappoint. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll tell you guys in a minute. So, real quick, I have a really couple funny pictures that I wanted to show you guys about Mr. Biden getting pooped on, and then we'll go back to Elon Musk. But I have to show these pictures because they're really, really funny. So there's one that says that the Secret Service caught the bird that did this. So he looks like Trump. Okay, you guys get that, right? Oh my gosh. The FBI has arrested the bird suspected of pooping on Joe Biden. How dare he? And they've got him in a cage and he's put away for life. And then there's another one. I mean, this was seriously, whatever it was, it's comedy gold, because look at this. One pooped over the cuckoo's nest. That is so perfect because he is so nutty. I love it. There's one more on there that we're going to show you. I'm sorry. It's great because it's the American Eagle. Okay? He's pissed off. And Trump is riding him for some reason. That was just great. I had to show that. So this is why we changed the subject tonight, because there's just too many funny things going on that we got to talk about. There's too much happening in this world that we can take a little bit of a break from the terrible, because I feel like it can get exhausting talking about this stuff. And not that we don't need to. We need to talk about it all the time. We need to be aware. We need to fight it. We need to deal with it. But sometimes it's good to take a mental health break, and that's what I'm doing this week. So, yeah, that's an interesting sound effect for that moment. I can hear myself now, which is really crazy, so I can hear what Joel's doing back there.
Awkward.
Someone said, hi, Brandy. Hi, Jack Allen or Julie. Seek to know the truth. Hi. That bird has good aim. And then someone else said they don't trust Elon Musk. I mean, that's the thing. I would love to know what your all's thoughts are on Elon Musk, because I'm kind of in, like, I'm not sure what to think position. Brilliant move, though. Brilliant move. And if you, whoa, hey, there was me getting ready. If you don't know, what we're talking about. I'm going to show you in just a second. Okay, so I'm going to read a little bit of this. So Elon Musk, okay, if anybody doesn't know where he's from, he's actually South African. So if he does buy Twitter in its entirety, he will be the first African American owner of a big social media company, which is pissing the left off really bad because they're like, he's not African American, but he really actually is from Africa. So Elon Musk is a South African born American entrepreneur and businessman who founded X.com in 1999, which later became PayPal. So if you guys don't know, this is where he's made his start. In 2002, SpaceX in 2002, and Tesla Motors in 2003. Musk became a multimillionaire in his late 20s when he sold his startup company Zip2 to a division of Compaq Computers. The Twitter board of directors will carefully review... Oh, okay, so that's where Elon Musk came from. And now, so the Twitter board of directors have said that they will carefully review the proposal that Elon Musk has made, which is to buy Twitter in its entirety, to determine the course of action that it believes is in the best interest of the company and all Twitter stakeholders. Yeah, like they give a crap about their stakeholders. I'm sorry, they don't. Twitter said, as it confirmed, it received Musk's bid, valuing the company at $43.4 billion, which apparently, from what I understand, previously to this, it was valued at $37 million, billion. So Elon Musk is offering more than what the company is worth in order to buy it and get it out of their hands. Now, there's a lot of nuance to this. There's a lot of things to talk about with this, and we'll get to it because that's what we're talking about tonight. Musk's offer price of $54.20 per share, which was disclosed in a regulatory filing on Thursday, represents a 38% premium to Twitter's April 1st close. The last trading day before the Tesla CEO's more than 9% stake in the company was made public. So, previously, Elon Musk, Mr. Musk, whatever you want to call him, had made the purchase and became the 9% stakeholder in the company, which made him the largest stakeholder in the company, which means that he holds some big cards, okay? Now, they had offered him a position on the board. And he said no. And I'll tell you more about that. So basically, he said no. Then he said, since making my investment, I now realize the company will neither thrive nor serve this societal imperative in its current form. Twitter needs to be transformed as a private company, Musk said in a letter to Twitter chairman Brett Taylor. He also says, my offer is my best and final offer, and if it is not accepted, I would need to reconsider my position as a shareholder. Earlier in the week, Musk said he abandoned a plan to join Twitter's board just as his tenure was about to start. Taking a board on the seat would have prevented him from taking over the company, and he also said he decided not to jump on the board when he realized that his voice wouldn't matter and that they weren't going to change the way they're behaving. This is one of the reasons he jumped on. Now, there's a picture I have of March 26th. He had tweeted something, and if you pull it up, I'll read it to you, and I think this makes a lot of sense. So at first he said, free speech is essential to a functioning democracy, which is 100% true. Do you believe Twitter rigorously adheres to this principle? Then he reshared this and says, given that Twitter serves as the de facto public town square, failing to adhere to free speech principles fundamentally undermines democracy. What should be done? Now, this obviously clearly says that he's been thinking about this. He's been trying to figure out what to do about this, and he's had this plan. Okay? So he asked the public, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And I think we realize what his plan is now. His plan is to say to Twitter, hey, here's the deal. You either take my offer, I buy it, I make it actually open for free speech where anyone can speak, not just the radical liberals in your echo chamber, or I dump my shares, which I don't know if you know what that means, but that means their stock would plummet, okay? So it's either take a huge hit, if not something that could possibly bankrupt them. Whoa. Hello. Or sell to Elon Musk, who they can't even fathom that, y'all. So, what do we think? I would love to know what you guys think about this. I would love to know your opinions on this. Honestly, it's so funny. And I posted something in Backwoods Brothers earlier today that said, liberals are basically, it's like the new Trump. If Trump wins, I'm going to leave and I'm going to move to Canada. Now they're saying, if Elon Musk succeeds in buying Twitter, I'm going to leave Twitter. Well, who cares, dude? Like, the liberals are out there constantly saying, if you're not happy, go build your own platform. Well, here you go. If Elon Musk buys this and he allows everyone to speak, because he's not like a major right-wing conservative. He's his own person, right? So he doesn't give good crap what you think. In my opinion, this is how I see it. He wants to buy it so he can open it up so people can actually have those conversations, so it's not just one-sided. And you know what? Probably stir up some shit. I'm sure he really enjoys that. But the positive parts of this is that people could actually speak what they're feeling without being cut off because they don't follow the crazy radical leftists and their agenda to indoctrinate our children and all those other things we've been talking about. So, what do you think? I'd love to know what your opinions are. Somebody said the picture, those are hilarious. That picture of Trump riding the eagle was gold. I know, I freaking love that. I need to put that on something, man. Oh, speaking of which, putting it on something. So this is one of our new shirts, and it says, do you know how fast you were going? And he goes, I don't know. I'm not a physicist. And it's got this guy in a truck, and oh my gosh, it's so funny. I love this shirt. And it's Joel's, technically, but I told him I had to wear it tonight because it went with my hat, and I wanted to show it off. It turned out to be a really, really cool shirt. So you guys should check that out and get one because it's awesome. Speaking of awesome stuff that you can get, I would think that it'd be really funny. I dare one of you, somebody out there, to take that picture of Trump on the eagle right there and get it put on a big sign and just put it out front outside of your house. And I happen to know someone who could make the sign here locally. And if you don't live here locally, I bet you they would make it and send it to you. I mean, I'm not going to tell you. Call them, find out. But anyways, Whitney signs, they're incredible. We love them, and their quality is insanely good. They're professional, they're kind, they're supportive of not only our community but America in general. I think that you should check out this video. Whoop, whoop. Anyways, we always find that so funny when our mayor does the little horn thing. Anyways, yeah. Someone said I love that shirt. Thank you. You should get one. It's pretty cool. We've got a couple really cool ones out there right now. I mean, all of them are good, but there's a couple really unique ones on there on our website right now, backwoodsbrothers.com. And then you can get there through our description always has the link on there. So anyways, I wanted to talk more about some of the repercussions of what happens when you cut one group of people off or you have one group of people leading something. And I think we're seeing that right now. We're dealing with it. And I promised you I wouldn't talk about some of the things I've been talking about, but it's probably going to happen because it all kind of ties back to that. But I really do want to know what you guys think about this. My thought process is it doesn't have to be Elon Musk. It could be anybody buying it, saying that they want to open it up and create more opportunities for actual free speech and not just the speech of those that they agree with. Because I don't know if you noticed, Facebook, Instagram, they're all an echo chamber for one-sided people. And no, I'm not sick. I just get a really sniffly nose when it's cold outside. And it's been like, our weather has been really bipolar. Have you guys noticed that? Like, we had, and I think in Oregon here, it's pretty typical to have bipolar weather in the spring. So we had a snow day Monday. We had a late start Tuesday. We had, what is that called? Mary told me what it was called, and it's like in between rain and hail, or in between snow and hail or something. So it's like hail, but a little bit softer. And we had a bunch of that pour down, not sleet. It starts with like a G. She posted on her Facebook. Anyways, we had a bunch of that come down Wednesday, and like either yesterday or the day. It was yesterday. No, it was Tuesday, because I had my goddaughter with us, and it just dumped inches of it. And we're sitting in the car waiting to go inside, and we're like, oh, I guess we're gonna have to venture out there. And we go inside and it's just dumping. And then today was like, we had snow this morning, but it melted right away. And then we had rain, and then we had like areas where it was like pockets of really heavy rain, and then snow, and then nothing, and then sun. And it's just crazy. It's been insane. You can't keep up with it, you guys. So my thought process here is, anybody willing to open up any of these. Now, I'm not a Twitter user at all. I've never been one, but probably because of this problem. But anybody willing to open up any of these platforms and allow more conservatives to speak, and more people with different thought processes, whether it be conservative or libertarian or anything other than the status quo liberal, but not just liberal, but like the crazy off the charts left leaning, indoctrinate our children. How dare they not let us teach kindergarten to third grade how to have sex or what gender to be and all this stuff. So to me, in my opinion, anybody willing to do that is it's awesome. And I'm hoping that he actually is able to buy it and they don't do something stupid, because I honestly believe if Twitter doesn't accept his deal, they're going to be going down either way. But it would be cool to see just like that, a platform open up for those of us who would like to speak more openly. And you know what? Like they say, go make your own. Well, if they're going to get paid, what was it? If they're going to get paid $43.4 billion for Twitter, what's to stop them from taking the money and going and building a new Twitter for themselves and for their liberal friends? Right? So they're going to complain about this. Go build another one. You got the money you could do anything with. I mean, who's going to turn that down? Unless it's about more than what they claim it's about. If it's about more than like the connections to who they're doing it for, who they're silencing people for. Maybe they're more afraid of them than they are wanting the money or wanting the space, right? So there's a lot to think about here, you guys. There's so much more to this than just the little stuff, okay? Because think about it. The media took a turn a while ago towards doing basically what the Clintons and the Obamas and the Bidens want you to do, right? And then the media decided, the media didn't used to be this way. Before Obama, the media was a little bit more middle ground. Now they had their little biases here and there, but it was actual news. They were actually reporting on things, and they were doing it. Maybe they can buy a new personality. Oh, yeah. So the media actually was the news. They would report on everything. They would report on things that they didn't necessarily agree with, right? And then when Obama came in, he took away those laws that basically says if you're found being biased, reporters or news or media or newspapers, if you're found being biased, then you could face consequences of fines or jail time or whatnot. He took that away. So as soon as he took that away, then the liberals jumped on it and said, hey, by the way, I'll pay you to do this, this, and this. And it became this big, huge mess. And it went from them skewing a little bit towards this way to now every news story is skewed in a very roundabout way. And I'm talking about the mass media, the major media sources that are clearly liberal. Has anybody ever stopped to think, why is it that they all go that way? It's not because they all think that way. It's because their big people in charge have all been paid off or threatened or moved in that way eventually over time. And now they're there. Okay, now they think that way because they're brainwashed and stuff. But there's a reason for it. It's all a big power trip, right? So what exactly are they doing or threatening or giving to these media companies to force this? And also, have you noticed in the past couple weeks, the media, the major media, the main media is now willing to make fun of and talk badly about Biden? Now, before this, they were like, the sky could be falling, and they'd be like, nope, it's not falling, we don't see it, nope, 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 here, look over here, think about something else. But now they're actually on SNL making fun of him. The major media is talking about how his favors are down, nobody likes him, everybody's upset with the way he's handled everything. Think about why they would be doing that. Also, around the same time, guess who comes into the White House for a little party and a speech? Obama comes in, and they treat poor Biden like a little kid who's lost. I mean, I don't know if you guys seen this video, but it's crazy. Obama's there talking. He gets down off the stage. He's walking around talking to all the Democrats and stuff, and they're all shaking his hand and laughing with him and having a good old time. And Biden is on the stage first. He's looking this way, and he's looking that way, and he's like got his back turned. He has no idea what's going on. And then he finds Obama, and he goes and grabs him on the shoulder and goes, Brock, Brock, Brock. And you can hear him on the cameras. Yes, I will get to questions in a second. Brock, Brock. And the dude is ignoring him. I mean, they're done with him. They've used him for what they need. They've thrown him away. And now they're ready to let the media and the country trample him. And I just think that's really sad. These people are ridiculous and full of power. And I think it's awesome that Elon Musk is like, you know what? I have enough money to deal with this, so let's deal with this. I thought that was pretty cool. Maybe they can... Okay, so I read that one. Okay, lots of people have tried to make their own first A-center platforms. Parler, Gab, Minds, etc. But they get slandered by, sometimes fake, social justice actors to get sponsors and donors to pull out. Yes, this I know. Which is why I think Elon Musk might be going this way. Because there are lots of conservatives that have tried to build their own and do their own thing and make something similar. And it could easily be very effective. But when you don't have the money to get off the ground, or you have people trying to stop you before you begin and slander you, it becomes an unfair game. And so Elon Musk is now saying, you know what, screw you. I'm going to deal with this my way. Cancelers will go tag a company on Twitter with a claim of instaphobia, make the post go viral, then bam, alternate platform loses their funding. Yep, exactly. Which, honestly, this makes it even more so important that I think he's doing it this way. Because they think you can go build your own. Let them go build their own. And they probably will be able to do it because they don't have social justice warriors trying to stop them every step of the way. Now, I'm going to segue a little bit because we're dealing with this. So, this is very true. There are those people out there, they don't care about the truth. They have their agenda, they have their process, they have exactly what they think should happen, and so they will use every mean possible. And if anybody knows me, they know that one of my passions is this nonprofit that we run. And we've had very similar things happen to us. We've had certain social justice warriors in our town, or people that don't agree with us politically, even though the nonprofit has nothing to do with our politics, but because they know who we are personally and don't agree with us, they go out there and start making up shit. They start talking about pretty much anything under the sun, things that are very clearly untrue, but they say it enough times and they get enough outlandish stuff out there that it can work against us. And now our nonprofit is struggling to get donations, which every penny of those donations go literally to our community, to people to pay bills, to feed them, to get generators, to those who have medical equipment that can't be without power. I mean, very important things that our nonprofit does that now is dependent on donations. It's always dependent on donations. We don't pay anybody. So anyways, long story short, this can happen in a lot of ways. This happens locally, this happens statewide, this happens worldwide, and this has happened to like Parler and these other platforms where they're trying to do something good, and then all of a sudden a bunch of lies come out, they make up a bunch of shit, and then they lose their donors, and that's really, really sad. So that's one reason that I think it's a really good idea to see where this goes. I hope he actually buys it, because that would be really cool. Somebody said, what's the name of the nonprofit? Our nonprofit is Estacada Community Watch, so it's, if you want to check it out, it's estacadawatch.org. Pretty cool. And then somebody else said, the desire to censor means your argument is weak. You're entitled an opinion even if it's wrong. Deal with it. And then someone said, you all do such great work. Thank you so much. That is true. Exactly. So think about Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and all these people that have censored so much to the point now that voices that aren't similar to theirs are almost non-existent. And when they are there, they get censored really quick, or we have to be really sly about what we say and how we say it. I mean, there are times when our show doesn't get put out the way it should because of what we talk about. So think about this. If you're in a place, and they're always saying that conservatives do this, but we don't. If you're in a place where the only voices that are allowed to get put out to the masses, the only voices that get a place, the only voices that are allowed without any kind of discrimination and don't get taken down are those of one view. And it's kind of a radical view. How long do you think it'll take before all these people become even more angry and more sided to that space and more illogical and more brainwashed and more dominant? How long do you think that will take? And then what happens? Things like what happened in New York recently with that guy on the train. I know a lot of people aren't talking about it because it's not a national story, it's a local story. But this guy is a black nationalist, okay? He went on and he was on the social media platforms talking about how black people and white people should be completely separated, and that white people and Asian people are terribly bad. And then he goes on this train and he kills all these, and shoots and kills these people. And they're only talking about it. They don't even talk about the actual reasons for it. They just try to gloss over it because the media and everybody talking about the news is trying to keep this one view of the world. It's like looking out your right eye always. Never paying attention to what your left eye says. You only get half the picture. And it's usually a distorted, pretty radical part of the picture, right? Same if you do only the left eye. But if you actually open up and see both eyes, both sides, it can come together and create a bigger, more complete picture. We need both sides of everything. If we're only looking out one eye, right? And all this stuff we see, but all this we're not seeing, then we're confused, we're lost, we have no idea what's going on, and it can be pretty angry. So, and somebody said, or deleted. I know this is a weird analogy, but just think about it. If you're only seeing half the picture, if you're only hearing half the picture, if you're only talking about half the picture, then you're not getting everything that's important. Somebody said language. That's probably my mom. Or deleted like me. Anyways, so that's my little bit of a rant about that. I do think it's important that everybody gets a voice. Freedom of speech is important. What is the cost of freedom? We have our veterans that go out there and fight for it, and now our media is trying to take it away. And yeah, sometimes freedom of speech means listening to things you don't want to hear. Sometimes freedom of speech means not allowing words to hurt you. Sometimes freedom of speech means it's going to piss you off. But are we willing to take all our freedoms away just to make ourselves feel better? Well, apparently these companies are willing to do that. And I think it's great that Elon Musk is willing to take a step and try to fix it. Now, do I trust him 100%? Heck no. I don't trust anybody in power 100% or with that much money 100%. Am I excited to see where this goes? Yeah, I'm really excited to see where this goes. I'm very interested to see what happens. Whoa, look at my ear. Anyways, so I have a couple funny things to read you guys, and then we're going to go to the next sponsor. And Joel sent these to me, so I thought it'd be funny. There's a basketball court on top floor of the U.S. Supreme Court building. Do you know what its nickname is? It's the highest court in the land. These are dad jokes. Okay, I'll tell you more later. Anyways, so our next sponsor, they talked about it yesterday with the wonderful guy that we had, Mr. Steve Bates. He was awesome. Very laid back, very low key, very smart and honest man. I really, really enjoyed having him here in the studio. Anyways, we were talking about pizza, and him and his wife actually went to Hitchin Post last night. They already knew about it, and they're from Boring, and they went to Hitchin Post and had some good pizza. Valerie, the owner, and her husband are awesome. They're really good people. They also are they help out in the community. They do a lot for this community. They've partnered with all kinds of nonprofits in the area and the schools and the teams. They also are very big proponents of free speech and freedom in America. We just love them, and their pizza is out of this world, so check it out. So, we're going to get a little bit more detail about the subway issue because I didn't plan on bringing that up. But it does make me mad when we hear people getting upset that we're talking about it. There's a reason that we're talking about it is because nobody else is talking about it. And I urge you not to listen to me because we always say this, no matter what you think, what you believe. Don't listen to me only. Don't listen to the boys only. Don't listen to only one news source. Go out and do your research and actually, I think they said you have to go to 5 sources and kind of bring the picture together before you can come up with the actual picture. So according to the hospital officials, a total of 29 people were injured in this incident. And this man went after white people and Asian people. And he has if you look at his social media, the things he's saying is insane. There are things about how black people and white people should be separated and that. I won't go into too much detail because obviously I didn't plan on talking about this. But hearing someone getting upset about talking about it is just crazy to me. So go do your research. Look into it. Don't listen to me and the whole threat spreading misinformation thing is exactly what Twitter has done. It's exactly what Facebook does. It's exactly what these places do. There is no danger in having the conversation. We can have the conversation and we can disagree and we can bring facts to the table and we can talk about it together as adults. Okay? I'm not going to say I have all the facts. Obviously, I didn't even plan on talking about this. But we need to be willing to bring these things up and discuss them and explain what's going on. And if I'm wrong, I will say it. I don't know if anybody died in this incident. I do know that 29 people were injured according to hospital officials so far. But obviously that story can change. And I have read some of his social media posts that came directly from him, and they're very, very radical. They are definitely... if he was white, you would call him white supremacist. So I feel very confident calling him a black supremacist. And that is my personal opinion. I would encourage you to go look into it. I would encourage you to find out what's been going on and see what you think. But I will tell you this, in my personal opinion, if he was white and this was against Black Americans or anybody of a different color, this would be blown up all over the country. Let's think about that and let's talk about it. Let's have the conversation about it, because that's important. We need to be talking. And this is exactly why I think it's incredible that this guy is trying to buy Twitter, because it'd be really great. Like somebody else said before, we've tried. They've tried to open up other platforms and create them and give more space to lots of voices, not just one voice, and constantly being screamed at misinformation or lying or you're a flat earther. But to have the space to where you can talk and have these conversations, and it's okay to be wrong. It's not dangerous to be wrong. It's something that can be discussed and talked about to find the whole picture. That is a game changer. We can get back to pre-2008, which would be really incredible. That would be cool. Because my childhood, my early adulthood was awesome. I mean, adults could talk to each other without screaming at each other. We could have little podcasts or shows to talk about how we feel without being told we're threatening people by our opinions. It's really important to have the conversation. And I know I probably pissed some people off, but I had to address that because that pisses me off. And this is my show, so I'm allowed to say what I want. Anyways, somebody said some are injured bad enough that if the gun didn't jam, the probability of them dying was very high. From what I understand, it was a pretty scary situation. Obviously, I was not there. Obviously, I don't know all the details. I'm not going to pretend that I do. But I would urge everybody to look into it because it's not being talked about enough, clearly. Back to Elon Musk. There was another picture that I took a snapshot of somebody's opinion of the situation, and I like to bring it up and talk about it because it kind of goes with what we just experienced here. Joel's gonna bring it up in it. There you go. So Max Boot, or at Max Boot, said, "I am frightened by the impact on society and politics if Elon Musk acquires Twitter. He seems to believe that on social media anything goes. For democracy to survive, we need more content moderation, not less." So this person would be friends with a few people we know. Let's just put it that way. I would love to know your opinion. What good does it do democracy for more moderation versus allowing our neighbors to talk to one another without wanting to kill one another? What's so bad about that? Giving a space for everyone to speak, to communicate, to talk about our perspectives and actually see more than one perspective. What's wrong with that? It's just so clear to me what's going on here. The Twitterverse is losing their minds because they're terrified that other opinions might be allowed online. Are we serious? I'm sorry. Are our views that damaging? The views to allow people to talk about things, the views that maybe not everything is racist, the views that there's a lot more love in this world than we make it out to be, the view that I don't want some person that doesn't know enough about themselves, that is confused about their own sexuality, to talk to my kid about sexuality in any way, shape, or form. I think that's the parent's choice. What of those views, and please inform me, and you know who I'm talking to, tell me what I'm saying that is so dangerous and misinformed. I would love to know. And what are we saying that is so dangerous that you're freaking out over Elon Musk buying Twitter and maybe opening it up a little bit for people to talk, to have conversations that aren't in the exact same spot? Damaging to their agenda. Exactly. I agree with that 100%. It blows my mind how people are freaking out. I don't get it. I really don't get it. It's not, Twitter is not the end all be all of the world either. It's one social media platform, just like Facebook and Instagram. And for a very long time, we've had to sit back and allow a lot of our voices to be squashed. We have to go through lots of hoops just to get this stuff online. Anything we want to talk about. We've allowed God to be taken out of a lot of things. We've allowed our Christian values, our conservative views, our conservative way of life to be completely twisted. We've sat back, we've let it happen, and now finally people are starting to fight back, and we are the dangerous ones. It's just insane to me. Somebody said, just one more time, we are not a democracy, we are a constitutional republic. You would not want to live in a democracy. Okay, you guys can have a discussion about that all you want. That's fine. There's lots of nuances to that. Technically, yes, that is true. At the end of the day, I find it funny that this is such a huge deal. I find it funny that everybody's freaking out. And I'm excited to see what happens. I really would love to see it happen. So, another thing that I wanted to talk about was why we do this. Why do you guys think maybe you have thank you know who for putting that out there, and you're very right. I just don't want to get into the details of it right now, but he is very right. Anyways, sorry, I'm reading comments now. I'm getting distracted. Look up the 45 declared goals of the communist takeover of America. Yes, everyone do that, because I've actually been hearing about this, and it's very interesting how much on par it is. The powers at be are wanting to be globalists. They're wanting to be a one world order. They're wanting a lot of things to happen, and I can go into detail about that, but I didn't want to talk about that tonight. Look it up, do some research. What I want to get back to is, why do you think Joel, Tony, and myself have decided to put ourselves out there to get ridiculed and piss people off? I'd love to hear some thoughts. And while you're thinking of it, I want to show our line of clothing that's called Pissed Off Patriot, because that's who we are. We're pissed off patriots, and I know a lot of you are. And it just pisses me off when I'm told that my opinion is dangerous. So if you're in that boat too, and you feel like everybody should have a right to speak, and you're a patriot, check out our Pissed Off Patriot line. Hey, so I hope you guys love that, because I love it. And you should really go get the shirt. It's freaking better than I thought it would be. It is so cool. And this is just a t-shirt, you guys. It's nothing fancy. It's just a t-shirt, but it's comfortable. It's cute. It looks good on camera, and it'll look good walking around town. It's awesome. And another thing, to those of you out there that support us and love us, thank you very, very much. It means everything, because in the midst of putting ourselves out there and courageously stepping out there and allowing those to trample on us, we still have a lot of support, and we have a lot of love. So thank you for that. Somebody's they basically accomplished everything of the communist takeover of America. Yeah, that's true. I urge you guys to look at this. It'll make you look at things a lot differently. And somebody said the reason we do this is because facts over feelings. That's one of them. And somebody else said, you love the abuse. No, we do not. But I find it very important. And obviously, you know, my passion is the kids and the sexualization of our kids, the sex and human trafficking of our children and our women and our people, and how a lot of these things play into that. And believe me, I will be harping on that forever, because That is my passion. I'm sure you guys have all have something that you are very passionate about and is important to you, and that's what's important to me. And talking about that is important because I don't know how many of you agree, but our media isn't talking about it. And when they do, it's glossed over. And it feels to me like out of everybody, our kids should be our top priority. Whether you have children or not, our kids should be number one. They're innocent little humans who deserve to be treated with love and tender care, and they do not deserve to be put in this kind of danger. And the more these policies, these blue policies take over, the more we push them into that danger. And if you don't agree, and if you get pissed off hearing it, go look at the numbers. Go look at the numbers. As soon as the border opened up, sex trafficking, human trafficking skyrocketed. Our drug problems, especially fentanyl, overdoses, skyrocketed. All kinds of things are correlated to this. So if you don't want to listen to me, go do your own research, not through CNN or all the liberal stuff. Do some neutral research. Don't even do the conservative stuff. Just take from 5 different sources, and stuff that's the same, okay, is the truth. Or at least close enough to the truth. Do your research. Learn about this stuff. Don't just become a repeating parrot to what you hear on the media. Don't just become a repeating parrot to certain people in politics, whether it be locally that you're friends with or nationally that you think is cool or fights so like is a social justice warrior like you. Literally, just do your own research. Become your own person. Stop parroting everybody. And my biggest thing is this takeover could be opening up for more people to have a say. And I love that. I don't see why that's bad. And I'll never agree that it is. And it could be people that I don't agree with that have a right to talk. But you know what? My husband fought overseas for that right. He fought over there and saw some things nobody should see and dealt with some things nobody should have to deal with, so that you have a right to tell me that I'm hateful and spreading misinformation, okay? And I'm never going to say that you should not have a right to speak. I'm never, even if I don't agree with you, even if you're a bully, I'm never going to try to shut down your right to have your opinion and talk about it. But it should be the same both ways. It should be. And it would be really cool to see this happen. If you guys want to see what I'm working on, I can talk about that for a minute. So last time I started with the Keelan's dog sign, it pissed me off. It turned into gross. It wasn't good. And I'm sure it was fine, but it just wasn't working the way I wanted it to. So I started a new one, and I'm sure I'm probably going to start another one. But here I am, right here. I'm in the beginning of it, and this one might be too small, so it might end up being an extra little board, but I'm just having fun playing around with letters. Somebody said Tom Petty and Prince equals fentanyl. Explain that to me a little bit. I don't know if you mean they both died of that or what. So explain that to me. I don't know much about those guys. I do know some of Prince's songs, but so I don't have much more to say about this. I did know it was important to talk about because I just found it fascinating that it's been years and years of us taking abuse and a lot of us on the conservative side being told to shut up, sit down, shut up, and stick in our corner. They both died from fentanyl, Tom Petty and Prince. That's really sad. And we've been told that our opinions don't matter. We've been told that we're bigots, we're racist, we're all these things, which none of that is true. Go out and meet your neighbors. Go out and talk to these people. Go out and actually have a conversation and tell me how many people you actually know that are truly racist or truly bigots. There are some out there. I'm not going to lie. There are some bigots out there. There are some racists out there, but they come from both sides of the aisle. And conservatives are not racist or bigoted as a whole. We are not, and I'm tired of hearing about it, and it's really nice to see after, 14 straight years of being silenced because the majority media and all these people are going one way, to be told that there might be a glimmer of hope that somebody is fighting back with big guns and basically giving them no option felt really good. Feels really good. And yeah, Elon Musk is not a radical conservative from what I know. I think he's his own person and he's very eccentric and, you know, he could do some things. But to say that this is an abuse of power and it's dangerous to have this much power and all this stuff, to say that the impact on society and politics if Elon Musk acquires Twitter and that we need more content moderation, not less, is just ridiculous. I don't care what side you're on. That's ridiculous. I'm tired of it. The only content moderation we need is the content being taught to our kids in school. That's the content moderation we need. But when we try to moderate that, they scream bigotry and transphobia. That's not what this is, you guys. I could give a crap what you want to be. Just don't teach my kid anything sexual. I don't care what kind of sexual or sexuality or anything you're teaching them. Kindergarten to third grade, it should be higher than that, but kindergarten to third grade is insane to even start these conversations. And Florida got it right, and that's why all these other states are looking towards doing it too. Someone said, why are they so deathly afraid of free speech? Because they don't have the evidence, they don't have the argument to back up what they're saying. So when they're put in an echo chamber and they're being affirmed and reaffirmed and you know, agreed with all the time, and these people continue to speak the same way, it's called an echo chamber, and they've got these people supporting them. They don't ever have to back up their argument, because every time somebody goes against them, they get moderated or thrown off, just like someone tried to moderate me just now. Is anytime somebody disagrees with these people, they immediately go and scream that they're dangerous or they're spreading misinformation or they need to be moderated, and these moderators do it. They go moderate them. So they don't have to have an argument. They don't have to have any facts. They don't have to have a good reason for what they believe. If you listen to the people that are trying to stop free speech, most of what they say has no backbone. And when they are challenged, they turn into somebody that just spouts hatred. Like that kid, I don't know if you guys noticed this, and I was just watching this video, but there was this kid that said he owned Ben Shapiro the other day. And he was speaking to him, he was asking questions because Ben Shapiro came to his school, which Ben Shapiro does it a lot. And he goes up there and he starts talking and he says, I'm a mathematician and something else, because he's taking these courses, and he says, I got this very prestigious award, blah blah. If you look into the award, it's not really prestigious at all. And if you guys want to know more, I will share, just like I shared the Elon Musk thing earlier today, I'll share this video for you so you can watch it. But he goes on to state his accomplishments, and then when he starts to disagree with Ben, and Ben has an actual argument with facts to back it up, he, instead of, you know, debating back and explaining his side and giving a solid argument, he starts negatively attacking Ben, like, and then he even says something about how he doesn't know anything about women because he can't even get his wife to. And it's just things like that. If you watch those who don't agree with free speech, who don't want us to have a diverse amount of ideas, it's usually because they're terrified that they will be shown for being ignorant, or they're terrified that their argument will fall apart. They're scared that everything they've believed and everything they've pushed for will be proven to be wrong. And it's clear when they try to argue back and they have nothing but negative, hateful threats, like you're racist or you're bigoted or you can't do this with your spouse or you know, all these things that there's no proof behind, there's no merit, it's not true, just like some of the stuff we deal with on a daily basis. None of what they say about us negatively is true, but they don't have anything else, so they will continue to speak it and scream it and yell it and over again, because the more you hear it, the more people will believe it. And they will continue. It's like a big cycle. So, I urge you guys, somebody said control the media, control the people. Exactly. And it's very interesting how controllable people are. We didn't used to be like that. So let's get back to not being so controllable. Let's get back to fighting for things that matter. Let's stop doing this to each other. Stop fighting with each other. Stop yelling at each other. Let everyone have their peace. And I'm talking to those of you who feel threatened anytime anyone has a disagreement with you. That's ridiculous. That is sick. Somebody said, only reason I like Twitter is I get to argue with lefties. They really hate it when I treat them the exact same way they treat me. I've been in time out a few times just for providing evidence. Once in a while, though, I find somebody that can debate without feelings. That's interesting, and it'd be nice to see, but it's very rare. I know there was a post out there that we were posting on even Facebook. Facebook has a big problem, too. I'd love to see someone take over Facebook. Anyways, and it had something to do with Christianity and providing hope to those that are lost, and it was a very uplifting post, and it was blacked out for graphic material. I mean, when did God become graphic material? That's what I'm talking about. You start here, you spiral down here, and now we've got people who scream at us for having a difference of opinion. It's sick, it's stupid, it's ridiculous. And I'd love to see Twitter either go down in flames or be wide open by Elon. Either one is good for me. I'm excited to see whatever happens. And I'll be watching pretty close. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me tonight. I hope you had a lot of fun. And thank you for supporting us and backing us up and being our community. And share this. Get this out there. We're trying to build up so we can actually get a real studio. So please share this, share these videos, share mine, share the boys, share the BS project, share it all. Go ahead and check out our merchandise, and all that good stuff. So, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week. Stay nice to each other, and, that's it. God bless.